Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lynn, and if you are new here, welcome. For me, like many of you, it is absolutely go time for getting things in our gardens. And so after 2 trips to Home Depot, all of my shipments actually arrived back in March, but I've made 2 trips to Home Depot, and I'll show you all those plants and also the things that I'm going to be doing in the garden this week because next weekend I'm done. You all, I've made a commitment that May will not be a time where I'm going to be trying to put a lot of plants in the ground because, as you know, once it starts hitting 85 degrees Fahrenheit consistently, our plants begin to suffer, and so do I. Not doing it this year, so I have one more week. So, yes, I'm giving myself a little grace. I know officially this weekend will be May, but that is with the exception of a couple of very special plants that I could be receiving. Nothing else is going in the ground here. So let me go ahead and show you all the plants that I got from Home Depot, plants that I've received from other places, what I'm going to put in the ground, where they're going, and why. You know, got to look at this. This is one of my favorite plants. This is a Miss Violet Buddleia. It is a sterile variety, so it's not going to be a problem with the ecosystem. 5 to 6 feet in height and width. Look at these gorgeous violet purple flowers. I already grow like 3 or 4 of these. Just bought 2 more because this is an absolute favorite. It almost stayed evergreen this year. Started to leaf out again back in February. So this is one of the plants that I hope to get in the ground today. If not, by next weekend for sure. But I will show you where it's going to go and why. Okay, y'all, so here are the plants. I have a lot of things here, including this Dragon Slayer Yucca. I believe it's a new plant for proven winners. I'm just going to pot it up and leave it on my patio. I bought it because I really like it. I foresee more of these in my future, but let's see how it gets along. It'll become 24 inches in height and width approximately, and it is pretty cold hardy down to zone 5 and up to about zone 9. So I have plenty of plants still out here that need to go into the ground. I have these allium. These are Serendipity, and then I have this geranium Azure Rush. It is a blue colored hardy geranium. And then over here, I have even more plants. I have another El Nino Chitalpa, and this is a proven winners. It is a panicle hydrangea, and typically I grow oak leaves, but I have a special spot for it. Here are these are purple coneflower, so the native coneflower. And then I have these white unplugged so blue salvia. They don't become very wide, but they'll become taller than wide. So those are for the new island bed project. I have another Mystic Spires Salvia, actually 2 of those that I need to plant. Here is another one of those gorgeous Miss Violet Buddleias that I just went over with y'all. And so let me walk over to this new island bed that I created. Hopefully I'll be showing you all this soon, but I've already put 2 unplugged so white salvia. We grow the blue, it's fine, but back there I have agastaki and then also a salvia, purple salvia. Then over here is the edge of the mott of tree space. So these sedum, they are rock and round pure joy. They only become 12 inches in height and width. They will be replacing this Veronica that doesn't do well. And then here is the other Miss Violet Buddleia. Y'all, I'm going to try and dig out this viburnum. It is a Chinese snowball viburnum. Don't think I'm going to toss it. I think I'm going to put it back in this mott of tree space somewhere. I don't put plants everywhere with these Texas live oaks, I'm sure, to keep things away from the trunks of the trees, but I think I'm going to put it back there. You see where those bags are in the distance? Somewhere over there, probably in front of that firewood stand, is where we'll place that baby. And then here on this side, I have this gorgeous violet Riot Salvia that I'm going to try and get in the ground today. We shall see how I get along with that. And then Calibrachoa for my surrounds of my boxwood in pots. That was a mystical salvia, so blue. I have boxwood that need to go in the ground. And here's another Rockin' Round Pure Joy Sedum. I will find a home for that one for sure. I'll get to work. Okay, y'all, so right here, this is a viburnum. This is a Chinese snowball viburnum. It hasn't been a stellar performer for us here. It does return, but it's iffy about flowering. And that's one of the reasons why it was purchased. We got a late frost and it seemed like it just set it back. And I don't think I'm going to get flowers. But what is going to happen is one of those Miss Violet Buddleias is going to go right here. I think it'll be gorgeous. It'll be happy with this space. I tried to dig it out, as you can see down here, but I couldn't get it out. And after doing his chores around this yard, my husband didn't have the wherewithal to come over here and deal with this beast. It's only been here for 2 years. It's a 1-gallon plant, so they grow pretty quickly. But what I did manage to do, oops, I put these sedum. So I think they're Pure Joy sedum. I was able to put them there. We got the Veronica out, and the Veronica, the variety is, it's not Wizard of Oz, it's Magic Show Ever After. I can't seem to make that happy. I mean, they survive, but they don't ever flower, and I kind of bought them for the flowers. And they're evergreen too, which is interesting, but they don't flower. So I figured these low water use, drought tolerant sedum would be great here. And I think they're going to look great with the purple flowers. So these have pink flowers. It's going to, I'll now pop up an image. I grow these in other parts of the yard. These, I had to take them off with a little bit of irrigation they were receiving. And now they're thriving. So if you're looking for a tough drought tolerant plant, I think I've included that in a video. These sedum are great. So I put 3 of those here. Next weekend we'll have to get this out and get that Miss Violet Buddleia put in its place. I have white bolero roses over here, and I think the purple and the white and the pink, I think that's going to look really good. Okay, y'all, so this is a Salvia Greggii that I picked up at Home Depot. It has these lovely light purple flowers. The actual variety, I will have to go back to my Home Depot video from 2 days ago, or maybe I kept the tag, which I tried to do, and I will let you guys know what this variety is. But the purple flowers are so pretty. Okay, so I got that in the ground, but the other plants that I'm going to put in the front over here, I was too undecided about it because I don't have evergreens over here. So just put the evergreens over here in terms of what's out front. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know what I'm going to do right here, but I'm not going to put the boxwood here. So I have to figure something out. I'm actually thinking of going to Home Depot to get another one of those and putting one right here and putting one back there where the bag is. I really think that's what I'm going to do. Have a trio. So one right there, and one over kind of towards the corner. What do y'all think? So I also popped in these allium. These are Serendipity Allium. We already have Millennium Allium, and as you can see, they're already going to have their buds on them. The difference between the Millennium and the Serendipity is primarily the Millennium Allium has straight green leaves, whereas the Serendipity, these right here, have blue-green leaves. But y'all, I hadn't had breakfast and I was over here planting these Serendipity Alliums, which I think will look great in front of the Mystic Spires Salvia. But I didn't have breakfast this morning, and the smell of these onions kind of made me hungry. I don't know if it ever does that with you. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of odd in that way, but I do skew towards the savory versus the sweet in terms of the food preferences. But I got 3 of these popped in the ground today as well. I think they're going to look great with these. This is, I think, is Ice Dance Sedge. So these are evergreen, and so it's going to be variegated white, actually, with green inside. And so you're going to have the 2 variegated strappy plants, and then of course the allium with the grayish green strappy foliage. So I think that's going to look nice with all of the Mystic Spires Salvia behind them. The rock rose is blooming its head off right now. It's really starting to put on some growth. So I cleaned weeds out of this kind of dry riverbed garden. And what I added is down here, you can see it with its dark purple bluish flowers. I've got to add a little bit of mulch. Now you see, you guys, it's planted high. It's planted at least an inch or so above the soil grade. And that is what you want to do with these drought tolerant plants. But this was picked up from Home Depot. And you all, I want you to see how large this 1 gallon El Nino Chitalpa has become. This is just 3 years of growth, y'all. But it's starting to get its flowers. It's lovely pink, fragrant flowers. And let me stop and show you what I planted. I added the bobblehead allium, which will look very nice next to the lavender pink flowers of this veronica. Look at the Chitalpa. It is literally about 9 feet tall now. It's starting to flower. It's starting to leaf out. Oh, and oh my gosh, look. The Beyond Midnight Caryopteris. It's starting to get its gorgeous flowers. Aren't they pretty? Okay, y'all, so that's it. Next week, I hope to give you an update indicating that everything has gone in the ground, and I'll show you that. And for now, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day in your garden. Bye.